Oh man, fuck, dude. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? I gotta get in it. I gotta get in it, man. I gotta get in it. I gotta find it, man. You gotta wake up and you gotta find it, chat. Every day, gotta find it. Sometimes you gotta go deep, but you gotta find it. You gotta find it. You gotta find it. You've got to find it. It's in there somewhere, and you gotta find it, man. It's fucking. Sometimes you really gotta look, man. You gotta. But it's there. It's there somewhere. It's there. I don't know where you fucking find it, man. But it's. I woke up. Oh, it's there somewhere, man. What is good? What is good? What is good, man? You gotta just find it. You gotta wake the fuck up and you gotta find it, man. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to the stream. Sometimes you wake up, you get a little pissed off, little things that get you going. You gotta just find it, dude. You gotta snap out of it. And you gotta just fucking find it, dude. You gotta find it. I got the nicest suit on you've ever seen. There's a lot going on. It's good to see your beautiful faces back in the stream. It is 8:41 a.m. EST in the great state of New York City. And man, it is good to see you every morning. 8:30 a.m. clock strikes. I'm here 5 minutes before. I'm sitting in a black room. I don't have my shirt tucked in, Darren. This is the only problem. I could do a suit reveal, but I don't have my shirt tucked in. I don't have shoes on. I'm getting a little lazy. I'm not gonna lie. I don't have my shirt tucked in, bro. I can still show it to you though. I mean, I'm wearing it. My shit is loose. I got it on. It's just like a little like. It's just a little like, oh, I'm on a Zoom call. Like it's just like a little like. It's a little loosey. I got a little loose today. I'm not gonna lie. I got a little loosey goosey today. But welcome back to the stream. We have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to cover. We have a lot to get into. It is Wednesday, July 29th, something like this. That shit hard. Good looks, Darren. I like that you're so open with the viewers. Yeah, the cricket gallery always got a fucking take. I'll tell you what. The peanut gallery always has a take. We have a lot to talk about. It's FOMC today, which I'm not going to be live for. I think it's at 3 o'clock. I think it's 3 o'clock p.m. EST with FOMC. And the prediction is that we are going to get nothing, but there's a reasonable 30-ish% give or take that we get hikes. If we get hikes, we're getting sent to the shadow realm. If we get nothing, we're probably so back and they're not going to cut. So Warsh's second FOMC, it's an exciting one. It's an interesting one. It's kind of a scary one. At the same time, SK Hynix missed yesterday. They had incredible earnings, but they missed. Devious expectations. And DRAM got sent to the shadow realm, dude. 4285 was bottom tick on DRAM, which is disgusting, bro. Disgusting. They sent that thing to fucking... That bottom tick on DRAM, bro, is minus 48%. Which is gross. That is scary, man. 48% down is gross. So, SK Hynix missed, and the KOSPI was down, I don't know what. It was down 6%, dude. Our Korean brothers are doing some wild shit to the charts over there, okay? They're doing some wild shit to the charts over there on the other side of the world. So we have that to talk about. We have Gary V to talk about. We have this fucking PipeDog coin, which is insane. Can you get a Korean to come on a show? Like any Korean? Or like, do you have somebody in mind? Like anyone who you have like a suggestion? Can you get a Korean to come on the show? Yeah, theoretically. I don't see why not. If you could get a little more specific, I would appreciate it. But... yeah, surely I could get somebody to come on. You got anything more specific? We got that to talk about. We have this. I don't know. We got a lot, man. We have Apple leasing products. We have SK Hynix. We have the Trade XYZ situation that happened the other day. And then last but not least, I don't even know. PipeDog. Whoa. Hello? Anyone? PipeDog? Oh, we hear. I'm in over at X like a chump. Yes, if you're watching on YouTube, Twitter, you want to chat, Twitch.tv/threadguy. The PipeDog thing, man. You know, I kind of have this working thesis that crypto is at like this do or die line. Okay. And, you know, I remember like when I would like watch sports as a kid and you're watching the KD Warriors, and I would just like assume to myself, like, it is a law of the universe that this team is going to win. They're just going to win the game. And sometimes I would even think to myself, why do they even play the games? It's a law of the universe that they're just going to win. And then injury here, Clay lands on a dunk weird, Kevin Durant hits a weird cross, Achilles goes, one thing leads to another, leads to another, leads to another, and the Toronto Raptors are your NBA champions, okay? And I think I used to think to myself for a while as it relates to, KD to the Warriors was 10 years ago, bro. I was 14. I was a kid. And I think as it relates to crypto, I always have just like assumed the crypto thing is going to work. It has to work. It's going to work. On-chain experimentation is going to happen. And then one thing leads to another. Sam Bankman-Fried falls in love with Caroline Ellison. One thing leads to another. Alameda blows up, then FTX blows up, and 3AC blows up, and Luna blows up. Then you go to this bear market, then you come back, and then you get scam after scam after scam, and then you get the DATs, and you get David Bailey, and you get Mark Mace. You get all these guys, the DATs, the blow up, the blow up, blow up. One thing leads to another, leads to another, leads to another, leads to another. Bitcoin 64K. It's on life support. And we're sort of like, I don't know, your assumption that this was obviously going to work is maybe getting taken into question. And so you get to this point where it's basically like, there's going to be another window here for on-chain experimentation. 64K is life support. Yeah, it is life support because you lose that. And then what happens? Then what happens? 50, 40, 30? At what point? And so you get to the spot where you're sort of like, there's a window once again where conditions line up and you get to breed on-chain experimentation. And it's either going to work or it's not. It's either going to get willed into existence or it isn't. And I think you sort of have like an obligation or root for this stuff to win because somebody's got to do it. You know what I mean? And you look out into the world and you think about it, and it's like, how many atoms are in this world that are like, you know, forget the coin. I like the coin, but forget the coin. How many like atom Rhinotics are out here, token works in the world, like trying shit. Okay, how many of these people are out here like really trying shit? And the answer is like not many. There's really not many. And so somebody's got to do it, and somebody's got to will it into existence. And every marginal dollar that's spent like fighting the launchpad wars on Robinhood like makes me want to fucking just rip my hair out, man. It does. It makes me want to just like, what the fuck are you doing, man? It's like we've literally coded God in a black box that can build anything. And we're like, what if we PvP pawns? It's like, how just, I can't say the R word anymore. I can't say the R word anymore. I can't. And so it's just like, man, it drives me crazy. It actually drives me crazy. And then I see this pipe bomb thing, and it just like, I don't know if I'm pissed off because my cabal is like 7th in line in the priority of cabals, or what exactly it is that drives me nuts. But I don't know, man. Fuck it, pipe bomb. I don't even know what it's called. Pipe bomb. I don't even know what it's called. Who's pipe bomb? PipeDog. Pipe bomb's the guy in the stream. I don't know. Anyways. We got a lot to talk about. We have a lot to get into. We don't have that much time until market open. I have a lot of topics I want to cover. Let's start with a little roll call. Joko, what's good? DNAP, what is good? Easy Eats, Bodega, what is good? DeFi Grab, what's good? Gintani, what's good? Shifty, what's good? What's good? Rye, what's good? Alex, what's good? One Positive Dude, Tingle Trader, Finance, what's good? Chimmy Frank was in here. Darren Sharp is in here. Rollin, what's good? Sai, what's good? Vito, what's good? Rug, what's good? Jehovah, what's good? Darren Sharper, what's good? Yo, Caleb, Hydro, what's good? Cricket Gallery, Peanut Gallery, all the Art Gallery, Music Gallery, Hall of Fame Gallery. Two, what's good? DJ Cap, what's good? Live TV, what's good? Whitey511, what's good? Cole Money, what is good? Okay, I had this realization the other day. How have we gotten to a place where the only people that can afford to, also if you're on YouTube, Twitter, you want to chat, twitch.tv/threadguy, the only people that can afford advertising on products that I use are dating apps and gambling platforms. You don't see ads for normal stuff anymore, ever. You don't see ads for like a water gun or like a blaster or like a Lego set. You don't see advertisements for products. You don't see advertisements for anything anymore except for gambling and dating apps. It is like overwhelmed my feed. Chat, yes or no? Have you seen an ad for Icy Box watch slots? I mean, they're spending more money on marketing than any ad I've ever seen in my entire life, these guys. Have you seen this or no? Surely you've seen this. It's nuts. It has absolutely taken over my phone. I don't see ads for anything else. There's nothing else. I watched 3 ads yesterday to see if they got anything besides the Omega X watch from the $250 box. It's nuts. And everyone's like, it's your algo. And I'm like, guys, you're watching market streams every morning. Mine is boner pill ads. I don't even think they can sell those, really. Where are you getting boner pill ads? Like from Hims? I don't even really think they can sell those. Realistic. I don't even think they can sell those, man. Also, I forgot to text my my Telegram to tell them we're live. Let me do that. Live. Twitch.tv/threadguy. Anyways, crazy LARPing, you def get those ads for boner pills? Really? No, I just get Icy Box, bro. I get Icy Box watch slots, which it's basically gotcha for watches. I'm just being honest. The gotchification of the world, and there's only one decentralized on-chain version. I'm just telling you what I've realized for myself. All right, terrifying. You want to get black pilled real quick? Black pilling headline just came out today that 2025 is the first time on record that marijuana is the most popular daily addictive product. This is insanely black pilling. If you understand the implications that there's almost no room for hope, it must be so tragic to be a teenager now. More Americans now use marijuana daily than drink or smoke. That is terrifying. I'm so serious. I need a chart. Somebody from the data team overlay the downfall of birth rate. That's the word I was looking for. Birth rate in the U.S. with the uptick of marijuana consumption in the U.S. 100%. I guarantee it is 1-to-1 overlaid. I think if everybody cut the weed for the wine, I hate to agree with Chamath. I really, really, really hate to agree with Chamath. But if everybody cut the bud for the wine, I think great improvements across the world, like incredible improvements across the world. So here's what we're gonna do. We have a lot of topics I want to get into today. We have a lot I want to cover. I want to just watch this video first because I think I saw this tweet. I think this is arguably the greatest short form video that I've ever watched on social media. It might be the greatest short form video I've ever watched. It has nothing to do with anything we have to cover today, other than the fact that I wish I made this. It's the best video I've ever, maybe the best short form video of all time.
Okay, let's see what we got.
Haven't smiled since Trump coin. I know, bro.
Okay, let's see what we got here.
First one we got is Bernie Madoff. Pretty good.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
nice
in the
move.
80s too. That's good.
Yeah. I've seen a few of these around before. Up next. Solid Sam Bankman-Fried here. That's nice.
Really nice.
That's really nice. What's this made out of?
I think he made it a balsa wood.
This is balsa wood?
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh. Wow. This is a vintage Zuckerberg.
Yeah. 05?
This is a vintage 05 Zuckerberg. Let's just check the back really quick. Yeah, there it is. That is a patch from his Fruit of the Loom
So good.
boxer briefs. You can tell by the smell. Yeah, that's it. Onion, hand cream. So that's great. We should sleeve this one.
Yeah.
All right, up next. Ooh, okay.
Nice.
Elizabeth Holmes. We do have 2,
Yeah,
I believe. We have 2, but a triple Holmes is what every good collector has
Everyone's got
in their
Elizabeth
arsenal.
Holmes.
All right, we have one
Last
left.
card?
One card left. 3, 2, 1.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh my god! It's a holographic empty.
There it is. That's a genuine holographic. His moniker in the corner. Straight off the island with this. Sleeve it, and you know what this will go great with? Put this with the Gates collection.
It's so good. All right. Anyways, welcome back to the stream. We have a lot to cover. We have a lot to get into. Let's do a quick market check, and then I want to go over some Gary V topics. and talk about crypto before we do the worst, boring FOMC market stuff. We're kind of in life support, I think, is the best way that I could phrase it. Crypto is like fine. Bitcoin 64 too. I think Bitcoin looks pretty good. ETH unironically looks pretty good too. Hype looks terrible. Lighter's taking a lot of its swag. Pump has just gotten pretty crushed. I top ticked it on my second buy. I'm not gonna lie. I the world punishes you. Like I had this level I wanted to buy, 22.48. I got excited and bid 21.50 because I was like, oh my god, that extra like 4% when it inevitably gets there because it crossed the first level. It's gonna feel so good. I'm just gonna buy it now. You front run it, then you get punished by the market gods. Crypto is like whatever, and then the scary story is DRAM after the SK Hynix miss. And I'm gonna be honest, man. I feel like everyone on my feed is posting this like markets bottom on bad news, they top on good news. SK Hynix was the bottom. I don't know. That to me is somehow that's the consensus, and I am just not convinced. It feels like a stretch. Like it feels like nothing's really happened yet, to be completely honest. To be fair, their earnings were sick. They just weren't the greatest earnings of all time to beat. But DRAM and the pre is 47.43. Mags and the pre are 63.42. They're basically flat. And the Soxel and the pre is 107, dude. 107 off an all-time high of 302. And so it's going to be a pretty consequential open. It's down 66%, the triple leverage semiconductor ETF. It's going to be a consequential open, and it's going to be probably the second to last open before I leave. I'm going to stream tomorrow. There's a chance I'm going to double up on streams tomorrow, and then I'm probably not going to be here on Friday, and then I'm gone all of next week. I'm going to be gone all of next week. So, yeah. I have a family vacation. This is nuts. Is this real? Netanyahu will meet with U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth is just unbelievable. By the way, on life support, Trump is coming out and he's tweeting shit like this. We'll be hitting Iran hard. Tweet about Fauci and hitting Iran, which is unbelievable. We'll hit them hard. He vowed a forceful response after U.S. forces intercepted an Iranian missile attack in Jordan, saying we're going to beat the effing shit out of them and we'll be hitting them hard. We're beating the fucking shit out of them is what he said. We're going to beat the fucking shit out of them.
Yeah, guys, good morning. President Trump reacting to that Iranian...
So that is where we're at with war. While DRAM is on life support, SK Hynix missed. We have FOMC today, potentially hikes. And, does anyone find it a little bizarre that we've been at this war for 6 months against Iran? We've been fighting this war for 6 months, and nobody's saying anything. It's been happening for 6 months. We've been covering headlines about Trump saying, I'm going to bomb the fuck out of Iran, and Iran saying, we're going to bomb the fuck out of the U.S. for 6 months on the 72-hour war. It's actually wild. It was the 3-day war. Do you remember we started watching Professor Jang videos, brother? You remember when I bought this oil barrel? I bought the oil barrel in March after I banked the oil trade a month late. It's crazy. It's like we've been at war for 6 months with Iran, and like nobody cares. Nobody's saying anything. Nothing is happening. There's no consequence. Like it just is. This is like our new norm. We wake up and we cover war is like a topic of the stream every day. War and oil. It's a topic on our Notion doc every day. War and oil has just like become our reality. Is fucking nuts. So all right, let's do a couple cultural things, and then we got to get into the markets. Gary Vee went on TBPN, and I actually think he had some really good takes that kind of fired me up. Now, does he repurpose a lot of my takes? He does. But he had some good takes that kind of fired me up. The oil traders in my firm have all gone bald and are miserable daily. I mean, fuck, at least they're getting some action, right? When's the last time they had anything exciting happening in the oil markets? COVID. It's been 5 years. It's been 6. COVID was 6 years ago, by the way. It's been 6 years since they've had something interesting happen.
Have eaten up I believe collectibles have eaten up the pop culture energy of what young 20-year-olds would do with public stocks. So instead of buying 50 shares of Nike like my generation did, they're going to go buy a collectible. I think it's
I don't know if I fully agree with that, by the way. Meme coins have done this as well.
completely eaten up the oxygen of contemporary art. So
That,
you guys,
yes.
especially after your nice
Chat, you'll buy an art, like physical. Has anyone here spent more than $1,000 on physical art in the last year? I have not. I kind of want to, but it's hard to buy. I actually have tried to spend. Nobody. 0 people. I have actually tried to spend money on physical art, but it's very difficult. And you know what the problem with art is? Buying physical art. Number one is, how do I know it's real? And number two, who are these artists? Who are these people? I have no idea who these artists are. And I have no clue who these people are. No idea. You go to a different art store and it's random. I don't know. It's different artists. It finds it hard to feel any level of attachment. Like, I feel like when people were buying Pollocks and like Warhols, there was like a couple hundred artists. Now there's like infinite.
transaction, or continue to hang around people of wealth at a young age. Your contemporaries, people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, only 25 years ago, 30 years ago, are buying the hottest contemporary artists to put the art in the house. Much of that money is now going into $100,000, $1 million collectibles. Obviously, Michael Rubin, sitting on the top of the Topps empire with all his cultural relevance, has brought an incredible amount of pop culture energy to it. And kids, people forget, trading cards are 100 years of collectability now. This has been a very long-term asset class, but the numbers are just out of control.
What's the
You see O'Leary wearing this, like, you know this, even for you guys that are young, definitely people in my generation, people that collected cards as teenagers in the 80s and 90s were nerdy. People collecting cards are now cool. Yeah. And once that switch happens, it gets really different really fast, and we're on that other side.
CrowdStrike. I mean, bro, my start to crypto was sports cards. I'm pretty pilled on the sports cardification, like the physical cardification of the world. I think it's a pretty big deal. There's one more Gary Vee clip. I think it in a lot of ways replaces physical art. I don't hate that take. I think it replaces physical art. But I don't want to put a Pokemon card on my wall. No, sir. I want to put some physical art on my wall. So I don't know. But I got nothing here. This room has nothing in it. I just bought an art piece, actually, if you want to see it. I spent $400 on this thing. I don't even know. Should I open it? Should I open it? Wait, do you want to see it right now? It's pretty cool. I spent $400 on it. Maybe a little bit less. I'm surprised you don't like NBA cards. I mean, sorry, it's like this big thing. I don't not like NBA cards. I just don't think it's a great trade. I like some vintage, like some real, like some Kobe rookies, some LeBron rookies. But I'm not so hyped to buy modern slabs, to be honest with you. I can't open it. You see Lewis Hamilton open a card store? It's on this segment. Here, wait, let me show you what I bought. It's pretty sick, actually. It's been sitting here for 3 weeks. Because I don't know how to get it framed. Look, it's pretty cool. Wow. It's cool. Nothing crazy. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's New York City shit. It's not bad. Yeah, it's a nice piece. Yeah, but it's $400. And the thing about buying a $400 art piece is how am I going to tell them no? How am I going to tell them it's not worth that? No, this artist actually goes for $150 for a 12 by 12. I have no idea. It's just StockX. How am I gonna tell them what it's worth? I have no clue. You could print one of those from pictures from $2. This is my problem with the art. It's my problem. But it's pretty fire. All right, this clip too is pretty good about this art stuff.
I'm in a very weird place right now.
It's a nice piece, but it looks like street art. I don't even know what that means. I don't even really know what that means. Yeah, this is the whole bit, by the way. Art is about tax avoidance. That is the real secret nobody wants to fucking talk about. We should do a segment on this, by the way, evading taxes with art. We should absolutely do a segment on this. Anyways,
I'm in a very weird place right now. I've been in a 7 to 10 week cocoon around the collectibles
why do you talk like this? By the way, I've been in a 10-week cocoon.
industry becoming collecting becoming the next lifestyle genre.
Yeah.
And so like my consumption of anything happening in pop culture is at an all-time low the last 2 months because I've been in the lab on this thesis that I've been on for about 8 years that I think is about to completely blow the roofs off of. Like, for example, for instance, to give you even more color, again, always try to think about how to bring value to this smart show. We've started at VaynerMedia a collectibles marketing division, just like Coca-Cola started a sports marketing division when the Olympics were getting important as a driver to consumption. I believe in 10 years, every Fortune 500 consumable product, apparel, CPG, will have a collectibles marketing strategy. I don't know if you guys saw lines around the door at Popeye's Chicken for the One Piece collectible. People flooding to a Dodgers.
He's got a good take, dude. You see that Dodgers One Piece card? He makes a good point. The Dodgers One Piece card was nuts. They're selling the cheapest ticket was like $100. They're selling for $800. It's actually a really good take. People, did anyone get one of those? I saw it from Rasmer. I'm not gonna lie.
To get the One Piece collectible, I think that
Bro, they were standing outside giving out $500 cash to anyone that got the card. Like it's kind of like how, what percentage of McDonald's success was rooted in the Happy Meal toy? Right? I don't know. Not zero. You got 20 of them. Damn, GG. First chatter.
Differentiation in an AEO, GEO, agentic commerce world.
Everything I've ever learned about agentic commerce was against my will.
Around collectibles and community to get people to stop their normal pattern of what they're just reordering because they want to buy a deodorant that has a collectible of their favorite. I just see collectibles eating up because of what it means for community and analog and value and investment.
Yeah, and AI creates is going to continue to create insane abundance. Like one example is everyone can have a SaaS product now. You can make it. Everyone will.
It's actually a very interesting way to long my IRL thesis is physical collectibles, because you can't just snap create them. Like anything you could snap create, I think it's arbed out a lot. I sped them up. The hard part is the market and who actually wants to speculate and trade these collectibles. And then the problem that crypto has shown us, I think, is that if you can make it super easy to deploy or to create, then you just fragment liquidity. But I don't know. In a lot of ways, it's why would the Pokemon card market get smaller over the next decade? Why would it get smaller? I don't know. Why would the card market get smaller? I don't know. This is why I've always liked NFTs as well. Is I don't know. I think they just have a standing in the world. I like the long collectibles thesis. I think it's actually a very interesting way to long IRL. The problem is, what do you buy? I don't know. I don't really. Does anyone here have? I don't know. Does anyone here have more cards than crypto? Do I have any super deep Pokemon people that watch this stream that have more cards than they have crypto? Yes, LOL. I used to have a cards Twitter. They're just low volatility with no catalyst, so how is it fun to trade? Yeah. I mean, I think in a lot of ways, they're kind of like meme coins. They're sort of like meme coins, Pokemon cards. I think Pokemon cards are way more akin to meme coins than they are to alts or stocks. It's super mimetic. There's random cults about certain cards or certain designs. They have these random crazy sales where people get obsessed, like Kabuto King, and you get these moments where the cards cliff in value, they go crazy. But I do not think, I agree with you, Frank, that I don't think it's the best way to long speculation at all. It's not a great speculative vehicle at all. I think it's way more of a hobby than a means to financial freedom. It's way more like cards are way more a hobby than an income source, is what I would say. 100%. 1,000% is true. And so here's one more Gary Vee take. People are yearning for more real life. Run clubs, hiking tours, ski instructing. It's just so clear to me the explosion of analog. 2036 is going to feel like 2065. And because of that, the opportunity is to build businesses that feel like 1965. And I saw this tweet. It was nuts. Lewis Hamilton card shop at this tweet. This is the most unconventional yet fascinating business ever. Malcolm, you know about this. It's the old friend. It's called Old Friend Photo Booth. They recently blew up in New York. Tens of millions of views on socials, featured by NBC, always a line around the block. What it is, they have 2 locations in New York where you pay $8 for a photo strip. $8. I'm guessing they go through 400 to 600 strips per day per location. I think it's more. $5K a day or $100K a month from a tiny photo booth. Costs. A vintage photo booth is probably $20K and rent is probably $5K a month. So these things are printing more than $1 million a year. Why are we building software again? Have you seen this? Dude, I have heard about this like infinite times. Like, we're going to the photo booth. We're going to the photo booth. We're going to the photo booth. The real problem with longing IRL that I've realized after StubHub, and my girl spent an hour in line for this. Yes. The real problem I have uncovered with longing IRL, as I've been so correct. Like, I sniped this shit. Was I the first person to talk about it? No. But I undisputedly have sniped this. 6 months ago, I'm talking about this every day. The second I moved to New York, that was basically the insight. The second I touched down at JFK in New York City, I'm like, oh yeah, long IRL. Absolutely. I sniped this shit. Maybe more than anyone but Gary Vee. But the problem is, it's fragmented into all of these like niche experiences that what am I going to open a photo booth company? No, there's no way. I can't open a photo booth company. Like, you know what I think is going to go crazy this decade is like drive-in movie theaters. But how do I open a 10x long on a drive-in movie theater? It's not happening. Like, okay, carnivals. How do I long carnivals? Not happening. AMC again, just yeah. It's AMC again, the worst business of all time. You come back to it every single time. Yeah, who makes big ass screens? I could open one myself. Like diners, vintage diners. But is that a good business? No. Will they do more activity and sell more, like English breakfasts? Probably. But then you're just like, I don't know, I'm just gonna build a data center, bro. Like, I'm just gonna long it. Like, you just get away from it because the economics don't make a lot of sense. So I don't know. I could open a suit shop. It's possible, but I don't know. So let's talk about longing motorcycles. Since generation is ripping the burbs up on those electric bikes. That would have been a crazy trade, by the way. My home, I'll tell you this story real quick, is I grew up in like a suburb ass neighborhood, right? And my parents like still live around there. And they have the Facebook moms chat. You guys know about the Facebook moms chat, obviously. And the Facebook moms chat has been in utter shambles for like 4 years because of the kids ripping the electric bikes up and down the roads. Like, they're fucking terrorizing my neighborhood on these bikes. And they've been doing it for 5-6 years nonstop. And they age out and they go to college, and then their little brother takes over. And they're whipping up and down the street on these like electric bikes. And people have lost their fucking mind. So I don't know. Interesting. I don't know what let me ask ChatGPT real quick. And then we gotta talk about crypto. Because I have a lot to say about crypto right now. What public stock is the primary manufacturer of the most popular e-bikes? I don't even know. Mom's Facebook group's a great sell place. World's largest bicycle manufacturer is Giant Manufacturing Co. That's the name. Giant Manufacturing Co. Is anyone Oh. That is not great. Number 2 bicycle manufacturer, 99.14. Meridia. Oh. Oh, Giant is Trek. Number 3. Oh, they all look terrible. Oh. My God. What happened? NIU 4? Oh. What's the problem with this? Terrible margins on bikes. Huh. Hard to peak as a bicycle manufacturer after COVID. I'll tell you what. Last thing, and we're going to move on to talk about crypto, is my friend used to have one of these. And dude, his was gas. It was a Baja Mama. What was it called? Baja. I think it was a Baja gas bike. Is this what it was? It was a Baja. Yes. This thing was fucking insane, dude. He used to have one of these. Yes. Yes. This is it. He had one of these, the Baja. And this thing would go like forward. Bro, he was like 14. He was 14 and he was like the little like demon kid in our neighborhood. He had one of these and he had a golf cart. Okay? And this thing used to go 40 miles an hour up and down our neighborhood. And he drove it into a car. He drove it into a car at like 35 miles an hour, no helmet. And then that was it. They were done in our neighborhood. He's fine. He's cool. He's completely fine. After that, done. They were done. My mom was like, if I ever see you even near that thing. My mom saw me on the back of a golf cart one time, like hanging off the golf cart. And I almost got grounded for like months. It was crazy. Get the fuck, no golf cart. I was hanging off the golf cart and it was almost GG for me. So, all right, let's go. Crypto, 10 minutes before we get into the market. Does anyone have a take for me on what the fuck this is, man? Anybody have a take for me on what this is? Has anyone traded this? Malcolm, Frank, anyone got a take? Does anyone got anything for me on what this is? Does anyone have a take for me on what this is? I'll tell you one thing. I'm laying in bed last night and I'm thinking about it. And I'm in this chat with Frank. And Frank made this comment and he was like, bro, every person that has ever traded crypto in their entire life is on their knees right now praying for this thing to go to zero. Like, so many people would be so happy if this thing went to zero. Because it was one of those coins, if you wake up in the middle of the night and this thing is like 150 mil, you are just like, you don't even know what to say to yourself. Like, the entire chain, I'm laying in bed and I'm like, I'm crossing myself. I'm like, God, you know, in Jesus' name, like, send this fucking thing to zero, man. The craziest part about this coin to me, by the way, is I wish I could come here and do the whole, like, there's opportunities every day in crypto, da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. The craziest part about this coin is that it's been 24 hours, maybe a little bit long, maybe a little bit less. If I recall correctly, it launched while I was on stream with Ansem. Because, bro, I'm interviewing Ansem, and I'm, like, looking at my Telegram, and my chats are firing, and everyone's like, what is this? What is this? What is this? Everyone's throwing out, like, random founder names. Like, oh, I heard so-and-so's involved. I heard so-and-so's involved. I heard so-and-so's involved. No one has any fucking idea. No one has any clue. And it's moving like boom, bro. No one has a single clue in the world. And then you wake up the next day, it's at 44 mil, and nobody has leaked anything. It's wild to me. Do you remember this launch? I never really talk about this coin. Because I wasn't like streaming back in the day. Wow, it's still at 38 mil with 10 mil in lick. Do you remember Best comms I've seen. Back in the day on Solana, they used to do this playbook of high lick lock meme coin deploy, and it always topped day one. Manakee and Cats. Let's see. I remember Cats, but Cats was a scam. Manakee. 1.9 market cap, 1.9 liquidity. Wow. Frank, if this is correct, it means we're right here. And it means we have another like 150% to go. If that's correct. What's the other one? Cats. C-A-T-S. C-A-T-Z. They make money from LP fees plus bundle clip. I'll tell you what. One of my best trades ever was Bohm. Don't clip this, clippers, please. I've talked about it before. One of my best trades ever was Bohm. 10 sold in the presale into like into a lot. 10 sold into a lot. And I, to this day, don't know that we've ever really seen a coin like move like this, bro. It was unlike, what's the Duke clip? If you're not invited, don't ask to go. Facts. It basically was unlike anything I've ever seen in my life. It launched at like, it was basically at 30 mil instantly, and it went to $2 billion with one. What did $2 billion with one red 4-hour candle, and then that was it. And then it went straight down. It was like, if you remember this coin, by the way, Bone went up only. In the first 72 hours, it had an Upbit, Binance, and Coinbase listing. And everybody was like, wait. What the fuck is going on? What is going on? I've never really seen anything like it. And we have this running bit that I feel like we repeat all the time, where a coin like launches and it starts really moving. And we're like, oh, it looks like Bohm. It looks like Bohm. It looks like Bohm. It looks like Bohm. And every time that is just like that's the end of the road. And from Bohm spawned the presale meta. That was, then you got like all of the slop. The end of it, I think, was Slurf. Remember the Slurf dev burned $10 million of the presale on accident? And then that was it. Do you remember this? He burned $10 million of real money in 1 second on a misclick on a fat finger. It was wild. So, anyways, I say a lot to say, like, I don't know. I'm pretty like bored. On chain right now is so uninteresting to me. It's like, it's launch pads. It was dark farms, but irrelevant. It's launch pads that are making all of their money on like sub 1 mil toppers, and then it's like random crime charts. And so you may call me washed. Call me washed if you must. But I sit here and I still remain inspired by I'm sorry, but there's a single token that's like inspiring to me, and everything else is like a complete whatever on chain right now. Now look, there's a lot of money to be made, and people are making a lot of money. There's been some sick trades. GME was a sick trade. Mars was a sick trade. There's good coins. Don't get me wrong. There's good coins, but I'm trying to find a spot where I could sit here for a month and make I'm trying to make wife changing money, bro. I'm trying to make like, you can't convince me pawns is like that interesting. I'm sorry. You just can't. It's not interesting. It's not that interesting. I can't really get behind the launchpad stuff anymore. There's a single token that's like piqued my interest because I think it's something new. Stockbroker, kind of cool, fine. The rest of this, GME was cool too. I thought GME was cool 100%. I'm kind of mad I missed that trade. I think Mars is like whatever, and then I think the rest is like couldn't care less. And would have been interesting if we made 500K. Who made 500K? Find me a 500K P&L. Who made 500K? One person. So I don't know. I think there are spots though. I think there are spots, and I think yeah, a tie. Nice. There you go. Yeah. Who else? Frank. On that.
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble.
Yeah, like, okay, I believe 100%. There's six-figure P&Ls all the time. But I'm not playing a new pair game. You know what I mean? I'm not really playing new pair game. I want to slam my life at 10 mil and buy some new interesting shit. And so that's the only thing that I've done on chain. And honestly, it makes me Ponce how people cooked 100% how people cooked. 100% how people cooked. It makes me a little bit depressed about Pump as well. This is my other take. Is I look at Pump down 10% back-to-back days, and I look at the shit that's getting deployed, and I'm just like, man, here we go again. It makes me just a little bit like, it makes me a little bit just like, I don't know if bored is the word, but it gives me the little like churn in my stomach is what it gives me. It gives me the little stomach churn, I'm going to be honest. Even though the money that they're making right now is so disgusting. 500K, 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 600K, 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 700K, 700K. Pump Fund made more money in the last 2 days than they have made since... Oh my God. They just made the most money than they've made since May 12th, bro. It is so disgusting. So, I don't know. Crypto, it's like, in a lot of ways, man, I feel like it's in this, like, do or die spot for Dirt to get, like, a real mania back. Like, we'll be able to knife fight in the trenches forever. The guys that make 6 figures a month, mid 6 figures a month, they'll make it every month, probably till the end of time. But I feel like we're on this sort of do or die spot where it's like, fuck, man, we're going to have to get some interesting stuff that can go to multi-9 figure, like real multi-9 figure, or we're going to be bored here for a while. Anyways, we have market open in 3 minutes. Not a single Ponce coin over 3 mil says a lot. I know. Am I an idiot for not buying it? Like, of course. But I don't know. It's not my type of trade. All right, we have market open in 2 minutes. I got to get up real quick. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. And when I am back, we are going to rip stock market open, BRB. Yo, low-key looking at this art put me in a better mood. Kind of like fire me up now that I got this art sitting here. All right, guys, I'm gonna be honest. This is like this is an important market open. This is like a really important market open. It might be kind of slow and choppy until FOMC. Like it might be a more important market close, but regardless, it's happening in 23 seconds. As always, stock market open is powered by Phantom. It is powered by Phantom because anything you see during this segment anything you want to trade, whether it's a stock, whether it's a tokenized stock, whether it's a coin, whether it's an alt, whether it's a crypto major, whether you want to sell any of it and put it into stables, you can do it with Phantom. And the stock market is officially open. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Let us fucking go. It might be kind of slow on the way up to FOMC because people don't want to do anything, but we'll see. Let's go. The SPX opens down 0.2%. The NASDAQ 100 opening with a green candle, 27797.8. It is up 0.67%. The Dow is down a full percent, but who really cares? The KOSPI on yesterday's trading session was down 6%, which is, that mic can hear everything. KOSPI down 6% yesterday. It's disgusting. We'll take a deeper dive into that in a little bit here. SPY now down 0.2. The Russell low cap 2000 is flat. The Qs are down 0.16. The SOX is down 0.92. The SOXL, they're drilling it, man. 106.52. That's down about 3%. The IGV is green. Frank, what's your IGV take? That is up 0.65. Mags are down 0.3, and DRAM is flat. It looks very uneventful today. I'm not sure how much time we're gonna spend on market open. All right, crypto on open, not great. Bitcoin 64,137. They're trying to send an IGV, but let's stop them, bro. 1900 on ETH, pump 1868, Shaw's 44, gross, Perdat down 1.3, silver 57, flat, Sol 73, stretch flat 88, bond yields candling across the board. The VIX, that is up 5, gold, that is 4K and flat, copper 637 flat, Zcash 463 and going up on open. Oil 84 on crude, that's up 6.3%. Brent oil 91,759. We have a problem on our hands and it does not seem to be going away. Also, YouTube, Twitter, if you would like to chat, twitch.tv/threadguy. All right. Palantir and defense are all flat. Nasty candle on Palantir. Now, here's where it counts. Okay. Big AI, semis, hyperscalers, mags, a little bit of everything in between. I'm 24 years old. Be the Department of War. Wait, what? War is a common military term for weekly active report. DNAP. We'll come back to this. All right, let's go. Biggest gainers. Bloom Energy, 177, but it just took out pre-market lows. How do you know so much at 24? The question, the real answer is I don't. Snowflake, that's up 6%. They're trying to send IGV, and let's not let them. Cloudflare is up 3. Micron is up 2.5. It's at 840. Wow. It hit lows of 770, brother. ASTS up 2. SanDisk back over 1100. That's up 1%. BlackBerry's up 2%. SK Hynix ADR, that's up 2%. It's 131. It hit a pre-market low of 118. Ooh. Salesforce is up 2. Intel 87. Marvell is up 1. Adobe's up 1. Netflix was getting crushed. It's back to flat. Jinxie, what's good? Google is flat. IBM is flat. Biggest losers. RoboStrategy down 6%. Cerebras 187. Shaw's is 44. I'm not gonna lie, I got smoked on this. I got like legitimately smoked on Shaw's for honestly for no reason. Like straight up for no reason. We're 4 minutes into the open now. Jukon, what do you got? And a report published today, JP Morgan said the most leveraged ETFs in the Korean stock market have been liquidated and estimated that hedge funds deleveraging is also about 90% complete. Andrew Barks, what's good? Why didn't you cut Shaw's earlier? I don't know, because I thought it was going to fucking go up. Pump is pumping. I guess, dude. What? I mean, is it? I guess. Flies down 2. SpaceX is 114. You talk about PipeDog already. There's not that much to say, dude. There's not that much to say about PipeDog. Rocket Lab's down 1. Nokia's down 1.3. Amazon basically flat. Nvidia flat at 196. Microsoft flat at 391. Tesla flat at 305. God damn. Tesla. Fuck. Look at this. 305, 306 on Tesla. You know, the Thread Guy, why don't you ever have ads? Because I care about you. You know, the bit, no, it's because you're subbed. The bit is that Elon wants Tesla to get as cheap as possible so we can acquire it for as low as possible. But the problem is, in order for that to work, you want SpaceX to be as high as possible. And that isn't exactly working out. Meta is flat. AMD is flat. Yeah, it's slow day, I guess, until you get... Bloom Energy, though, is 186. That's moving a lot. Slow day, I suppose, until you get FOMC today. It feels like there's no real... Nothing's really moving either. Like, it feels like there's no volume. Bitcoin 62.2. Yeah, it's not any crazy movement. Maybe that's for the better after the couple days we've been through. Soxel flips green. DRAM flips green. The SOX flips green. Q's flip green. SPY is about to flip green. NASDAQ is green. Dow is down 0.8%. Okay, some of our consumer, SaaS, everything in between. We get Reddit 185. That's up 4. Zeta's up 4. Unity is up 2. Butterfly's up 3. Snapchat's up 2. DoorDash up 1. StubHub up 0.35. MSTR is 97. About to reclaim 100. Coinbase is green. Nice. Take-Two Interactive. Wavy 80. Look at that. 248. How about that? How about that? Take-Two Interactive. Wow. Look at convinced it's a stable coin. Roblox is flat. Hood is flat. They have earnings today. I think they have earnings today. Let's see. Yes, it is today. Take-Two Interactive has Heaven's Mandate. You better hope so. WCF flat. PayPal flat. AMC 266. I'm gonna fucking just quit all this shit. Shopify's down 1. Uber's down 1. GME's down 1. CoreWeave down 2.5. Nebius is 165. God damn. Nebius. The Neos are getting crushed. Nebius is the cheapest it's been since May of 2026. Last time it was at this price, it proceeded to pull a 90% move in about a week. Nebius looks terrible. Hims 28. It's down a couple percent. Everything is kind of just slow, boring, gay. DRAM's about to go red again. Rejecting. We're now 8 minutes into the open. I guess we're all waiting for FOMC. I have a video we can watch about FOMC. Probably relevant to market open from Paul Hickey.
Christina Partsinevelos. Let's get back to Paul Hickey now. So we have some numbers out, and you were saying that there's probably a lot of deleveraging still to happen on this chip trade. I mean, that was what really pushed it in Korea. This massive build of leverage, households in it, a belief that there was some sort of state-backed policy, and that ended up to be just sort of crumbling away at this point.
Yeah, so I mean, I think on Seagate, I was saying we're probably closer to the end of this, but Seagate's reaction today to earnings is actually sort of positive, unlike the other chip names. But I think that those forward numbers were phenomenal. The guide, the low end was guided above the prior high end of guidance. The commercial business is doing great. So I think the forward numbers are a good indication of the overall economic strength that we're seeing in the U.S. economy. And overall
strength.
I think that's a good sign overall, and it's a for the broadening out trade, other sectors of the market doing well.
Question, I guess, is that broadening out trade, and we constantly talk about this, is it really just kind of a stopgap, kind of offset when the leadership parts of this market need a rest or get a break or come under a lot of doubt?
Yes, but it would be a lot worse if everything was falling apart. So it's great that we've seen some passing of the baton. But now, and so far this year, you've seen the 4 largest stocks in the S&P 500. They now have market multiples after the recent pullback. So you've seen these valuations come in. So I think we made a big deal of Google or Alphabet earnings last week. Stock reacted negatively. But as you were saying in the intro, this week the stock has rebounded. So we place so much focus on these individual mega cap companies and how do they react to their earnings on the day? And that's going to be a bellwether for how the market performs during the earnings season. But if you look back historically, you're better off flipping a coin as far as how those stocks react on the day after they report to how earnings season is going to be.
Yeah, you're spoiling the fun, but I've said that for a very long time, that there's not any kind of magic bell cow stock that we have.
That has nothing to do with FOMC.
Well, there's plenty of other stocks that have a higher correlation, but they're not the mega caps.
On the other hand, just on that point, Apple often viewed incorrectly as a broad market bellwether.
Right.
However, it's really been a beneficiary of everything else going on, and now that looks like a richly valued stock.
Yeah, so that's trading over 30 times earnings. Of the 5 largest companies, that's the one that's, the massive, if you look at a chart of their valuations versus the S&P, it's, everyone's here and then Apple's way up here.
Yeah.
So as Apple, what's good for Apple hasn't been good for the overall market. And that's been for years now, going back to early iPhone models.
And what's been good for NVIDIA hasn't been good for NVIDIA.
Right.
I mean, the opposite side of it is...
What the fuck was that? We've never seen this level of certainty the day before a Fed meeting. That wasn't helpful at all. Well, let's check in on that real quick. You're talking about everything but FOMC. You didn't even say the word FOMC one time. Here's FOMC right now. Not exactly what you would like to see. So for the Fed decision in July, and I mean, look, I know you can look in the CME probabilities as well. There's $130 million bet on this, though. There's a lot of money on the line on this market. What do you got from Feijiao? Yeah, welcome to the new age. Rates being a toss-up going into meetings is the new norm. Expect volatility. This is interesting, right? Because this is a result of no forward guidance. Is that what's happening here? Is that yes. This is actually interesting. Oh, I see. Okay, watch. Read this. Dude, if you ask me to check out TA one more time, I swear to you, I'm going to buy 20% of the supply. And I'm going to slow drip it with $1,000 sells every hour until the day that I run out of supply. And that thing has just been destroyed to zero because I've been selling. They'll be like, where's the infinite sell pressure from? How does he still have coins? Brother, I have 20 fucking percent. Okay, I have infinite coins. 20%. I'll sell this thing until you'll be sleeping thinking about me, wake up thinking about me. Every day you check deck screener, sell. Every hour on the dot until this thing just gets slow dripped to nothing. Complete nothingness. Okay, ready? Listen to this. This is actually, I forgot about this tweet. Yes, okay. It didn't matter last FOMC, but it actually matters now. All right, ready? For years now, good boy. Get the fuck out of here. The actual rate change announced at every FOMC meeting did not matter. By the time the meeting occurred, the move was priced into the SOFR curve weeks in advance. The only exception to this was in September 2024 when Powell surprised the rates market and cut 50 bips. This was one of the only times where we went into a meeting with 50-50 odds priced into the market, either 25 bips or 50 bips. This meant that the market reaction was largely driven by the change in pricing once it was announced, not the future reaction function. Before the ZARP, zero interest rates, era, this was the common way to do things. However, under Yellen and Powell and pioneered by Bernanke, the Fed mandate was to never surprise the rates market and ensure their move gets priced into markets well ahead of time. This is why, For so many years, casual Fed observers would be confused on days when, for example, we would cut rates and the market would sell off, or we held rates steady and rallied. The market reaction function was entirely dependent on forward guidance and forward expectations, not the announced change that day. We are now going to enter a regime where what the Fed actually decides to do each meeting will be the marginal market driver again, and that is by design. Whoa, I forgot about this. In practice, I expect the next few meetings to be priced at 50-50 odds moving forward, and that's by design. It's now up to rates speculators to analyze the economic data and come to their own analysis on where rates should be. The Fed will not be spelling it out for us any longer. Overall, I think this is a good thing. Forward guidance was a tool from the ZERP era pioneered by Bernanke as a way to ease monetary policy without going into negative rates. We are no longer in a ZERP world, and it was time to change this. On net, expect higher rate volatility, more sensitivity changes in SOFR in the economy, less smoothing of business cycles, and a return to a more pure Taylor rule-like reaction function. This is a big shift in my opinion, a welcome one, despite my podcast being named Forward Guidance. What does Taylor rule mean? It's a math formula created by economist John Taylor in 1993 to help central banks set short-term interest rates based on inflation and economic growth. It uses inflation, the output gap, and neutral interest rate to guide monetary policy. Okay, so basically, for the last 6 years, other than one FOMC exception, it has been priced in like weeks in advance exactly what was going to happen, almost to a certainty, right? Like really, really, really high percentage, because they would issue the Fed would issue forward guidance, and they would basically say that's what forward guidance is, right? Like they would tell you exactly what they're going to do. Like, let's see. The central bank communication tool uses signal the future path of monetary policy and interest rates, aiming to influence financial decisions, spending, and investments. And so they would basically tell you, like, okay, like let's look at some of these. Like January 2026. Oh, can I see the graph? I mean, like, okay, like January 27th closes at 99. But by January 10th, it's like 90%. A week out, everyone knows it's at 95%. Oh, this is kind of sick, actually. Like, okay, wait, let's look at some of these. Like, let's go like October 29th. October 29th, 2025, we hiked. Or no, what did we do? We cut on October 31st. By October 1st, it's at 90%. The day out, it's at like 98%. Bink. September 17th, 2025. We cut. I think we cut. By a week out, it's at like 90 plus. September 17th, 90 plus percent. All of them are at basically 90% by a week out, 90% plus. Now we are at 75% on no change, 25% on a hike. That's like a significant difference, right? If they were all at 90-ish percent, and now we're nowhere. Now we're at 75 is crazy. Here's like one video we can watch about it.
The two-day meeting for the Federal Reserve.
Dude, it's actually going to be, FOMC is going to be electric again. Imagine a surprise cut. Oh, chills. Actually chills.
The two-day meeting for the Federal Reserve kicking off later on today with Michael McKee looking ahead to all of that from Washington. Mike, the focus. Things have shifted just a little bit. That Wall Street Journal report that dropped overnight.
The worst part, though, is we have to pretend to care about FOMC. I hate that.
Suggesting that
but I love volatility.
Had the family fight already. And Mike, that family fight was the middle of June.
Yeah, Chris Waller apparently telling the new Fed chair, Kevin Warsh, that he's not sure what the point of the task forces are. Well, we'll find out as time goes on, and we'll certainly find out whether they had a big family fight once this meeting is over. It does begin in about an hour or so, and we'll see what we get at 2 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Now, here's the interesting thing. 87 of the 88 economists who participate in our Bloomberg survey say the Fed is going to leave rates on hold. And that is the general consensus, although there's an economist meeting here in Washington, and everybody's asking me, well, what do you think the odds are that they could surprise us? There are a couple of economics firms, Citadel.
Imagine just fucking cuts, dude. Surprise with the cut. Just fucking do it.
With a note last night, and of course our friend Neil Dunn at Renaissance High-Frequency Economics, who say the Fed will raise rates. Investors still see about a 36% chance of a hike in the futures markets, and at least 2 dissents are forecast, probably Hammock and Logan. So where does that leave us going forward? Well, does Kevin Warsh offer any kind of guidance if they're on hold about what they might do in September? Because
I have a task force for that. Kevin Task Force Warsh.
Market is betting on a September rate cut right now, 100%. B of A, JPM, BMO, Goldman all see the curve rising in anticipation of a move if the Fed holds today. So they get a rate increase anyway. And then what do we hear from the other FOMC members once this is all over? Chris Waller will get particular attention if he schedules a speech. But a lot of people are going to be looking to count noses and see where we might be for September. The view is that either they cut this time or they cut in September. But right now, odds are definitely leaning in favor of the next move being a higher rate.
I mean, is he aware of the fact that cut odds are 0.1%? Does he like paid any attention to this? 0.1%. Am I on the right date? This is the right date. Am I watching a wrong video? 1 day ago. This is like election polls before Polymarket. And they would go ask like 10 people. And then they'd be like, oh, like, yeah, we think Biden's going to win, according to sophisticated polls. And they're like, what polls? Like, oh, no, like we did sophisticated, you know, we did the work. And you're like, did the work where? No, don't worry about it.
And Mike, dissent is not new. We've seen it.
Am I watching the wrong video? He's talking about cuts.
Particular attention if he schedules a speech, but a lot of people are going to be looking to count noses and see where we might be for September. The view is that either they cut this time or they cut in September, but right
Where is that the view? According to whose view is that? September. Rate cuts. 25 BPS decreases 3.9%. According to whose view? What is he talking about? Who are these people?
Now, odds are definitely leaning in favor of the next move being a higher
I'm
rate.
leaning in favor of a
is
cut
not
as
new.
well.
We've seen it from regional Fed presidents time and time again. Not new. You've covered the institution for a long time. Dissent on the board, that is slightly more unusual. Division on the board gets your attention, Mike. What do you make of this division? Do you think that's just the press making too much of it, or is something else happening here, Mike?
I think it's the kind of normal dynamics you would see from a new leader taking over any kind of business and coming in and saying he wants to make major changes. The people who've been running that business basically saying, well, what's wrong with what we've been doing? But if it continues to spread like that, and we'll have to see what these various task forces come up with, then Kevin Warsh has got a problem. He doesn't want to lose the board before he even really gets into office. So I would imagine there's going to be a lot of persuading going on, a lot of efforts to persuade as much unanimity as possible in this decision. Not sure.
It's kind of crazy to think about how much garbage has been spewed on trad media for the last 50 to 100 years before something like a Polymarket existed to fact check what's being said here. Polymarket says there's a 0.1% they cut. This guy Michael McKee at Bloomberg News gets on the television and he's like, yeah, the assumption is either a cut now or in September. And you're like, the assumption, whose assumption? Like, who is assuming that? Where is that being assumed and by who and when? It makes a lot of this shit useless. It's like it's a coin flip between now and next meeting. Coin flip between who? Who is coin flipping? I don't know. I don't know. All right, check it back into the market. Did he say hike or am I retarded? Maybe I just like made up the last 5 minutes of the stream. I don't entirely know. He means hike. IMO and misspoke. He said the word cut like 4 times. Anyways, DRAM is now down 2%. It's ugly, dude. The market is ugly today. It is. DRAM's down 2. Mags is down 1. Soxel is now down 5. About to take out pre-market lows. We're 24 minutes into the open. Bitcoin looks pretty good. 64.4. Can SK Hynix drop 10%, bro? It's been getting destroyed. Thread, give me the whispers on the uni chart. Funny you ask me about the uni chart. Funny you ask me about the uni chart because I have some takes. If you're watching on YouTube, Twitter, and like to chat, twitch.tv/threadguy. We're 25 minutes into open. You know what I like to do before we click off of the open and we start talking about Peter Thiel. I want to know, what do you hold? What are you buying? What are you selling? What would you like to enter? What would you like to exit? What looks good? What looks bad? What ticker is just downright featuring good name physiognomy? Yesterday, I was on stream and I was naming every individual name in the chat and saying what you hold. I thought it was awesome. PipeDog and Hype, dude. Give me a fucking break, Ractal, with this shit. PipeDog, man. Bought Ansem a couple days ago. Looks bottom as fucked. I bought NCTY. Low cap stock. They have 1,700 Bitcoin. Do AI plus crypto gaming. What do I hold? Pawns and stockbroker. Eric, do you have FWA? Whitey, what's good? I still hold long pump and VVV, short Bear and XLM. Ansem and Pump, Mars coin. I bought Boomer, Confidence, in the stock world. That's a problem. FWA is the sickest coin I've seen in a long time. I feel like I should stop saying how much I like it because it's like it's down. It's like, what's the point? I don't want to like get people stuck in it. I love the timing of Ansem talking about MetaDAO with you and then Upbit listing last night. We will look at that. You literally can't buy it. That's a good point. Eric, dude, you're like the NFT guy, brother. Straight ETH full port. Jimothy back is crazy. Is it? Why is Jimothy back? What do you mean, Jimothy back? Straight ETH full port. Okay, wait. What do we got on chain? FWA 18.4. Nice. Jimothy. Whoa. Top. Your long Fed cut on Pauly. Imagine, dude, hit 100x on Fed cut on Pauly. What am I supposed to be looking at? TA. I traded this TA shit, by the way. Stonk. What is Stonk Brokers? It's an NFT? I don't even like know what it is. I saw it, but what is Stonk Brokers? I don't even like know what it is. It's an NFT. You make me go to fucking OpenSea. Remember getting crushed again? I know. I'm scared to look. NFT and token. I just do the token. Is it like a? Oh, it's a 404. Huh. Not bad. Why is it? It's a 404. God, I always thought 404s were gonna be so massive. Memory Forever bottom, and now we are stepping in. Brother, we're looking at NFTs. Tung Tung. No, we're fade Tung Tung. Anyone stepping into memory? PipeDog has 11 mil in liquidity. Where's my deck screener tab? Where's my deck screener tab? Where's my deck screener tab? Dog. NFTs are back. NFTs are so back. I mean, I guess I'm like philosophically long NFTs, and there's nothing I can do about it. DNAP, send me ETF inflows. Where ETF inflows yesterday? PipeDog 50 mil. I know I cooked that. Type decks in. This is insane. We're top traders up on this. Wow, 4 consecutive days of outflows on Bitcoin ETF, and it's green. Who's buying? Who's buying? It's not the ETF guys. They didn't bottom it. They're not buying. It's not the ETF guys. It's not CT. They have no money. It's not Sailor. He was selling. The combo with Anson was funny yesterday. It's not the ETFs. They're outflowing. It's not CT. They have no coins. Sailor is actively drilling support, selling a quarter B at 60 mil. Who's buying? Who is buying? Whose wallet is this, DNAP? Who is buying? Are you an FWA? Honest question, unless you go in sub 10 mil. It's just terrible play to be rolling gotcha. I don't know, dude. I started buying at 7 mil, and I've bought up to 35, and then all the way back down to 20, all the way back down to like where we're at. I wake up and I spin. I don't know. Am I retarded? Maybe. I just think, you know what I think? I'll read you a tweet that I like about it. I'll read you a tweet that I like. Since everyone wants to know. Since everyone's always asking me, what do I think about FWA? I'll tell you what I think about it. What's his name? Kicks? Yeah, there it is. I like this tweet about it. Here it is. What's my thesis on FWA? Very rarely do we get a new primitive that decentralizes a digital marketplace and allowing anyone to be the buyer or seller. Uniswap was the first to do it, decentralizing coin swaps. Next was OpenSea, decentralizing NFT trades. After that, prediction markets. Gotchas and loot boxes to this point have not been decentralized. There's the house and the player. So this is a new primitive with loads of possibilities. It's basically the same market cap as other novel altcoin launches. I like stockbrokers. So for it to be a potentially defining new primitive and dirt cheap, easy for me to try and make some money on it. This is my general take. The problem is that I hate gotcha. Like, I'm not a target mark. Oh, I actually am a target user, but I hate the gotcha stuff, like, in general. Like, I'm not like waking up and like hitting the gotcha mines. Okay. And so that puts me in a weird spot as like lead KOL for the gotcha thing. This makes a difficult situation that I seem to have found myself in. But I generally mid-curve, not novel thing that brings nothing to the table. Like, I'm not super good at like buying bad stuff. And then I get really like nerd sniped by new interesting primitive that I haven't seen before. That like really like fucking, for better or for worse, like gets me going. And so this is one of those things that just like my weird autistic brain just got hooked on really hard. It got like really hooked on it. And I don't have an ability to get unhooked. I had a dream about it. I actually had a dream it was at 29 mil, and the entirety of my dream was like me checking deck screener and it being at 29 mil. So yeah, like believe coin. Like, does it mean it's a good coin if I'm interested? Like, no. But it theoretically could mean it's a good coin. And so I don't know. I like new stuff that I can think about and go kind of deep on. Yeah, so I got one-shotted by the NFT slot machine is basically what happened. Also, I think Ansem looks pretty good as well. 190 mil. But anyways, as we sort of click out of stock market open, there's a couple things that are notable. One, we're weak. Semis are very weak. Memory is very weak. I'm not necessarily convinced that we are bottom on SK Hynix miss. Okay, here it is. I mean, the numbers are disgusting, but they missed. They missed. There's this Gavin Baker tweet from July 13th, 2026. It'd be pretty funny if Hynix missed the quarter immediately after their $7 billion US ADR listing and super bullish roadshow where they made fun of Micron for agreeing to price ceilings in their LTAs. Semi-analysis well above consensus for this quarter. KIS, spec sales evidently below. Time will tell. Then he says, much stranger things have happened, but this would still be funny. Also, the 1981 Clash of the Titans has aged really well, even if the Kraken is not. What does that mean? Clash of the Titans. What is that? What is this? I've never heard of this. It's a movie? It's a book? There's this weird open, by the way, on the KOSPI today of like, or yesterday, last night, where Hynix misses, and then everybody sort of comes out at the same time and are like, I feel like everybody came out and they were like, that's the bottom. That's it. Bad news. We bottom on bad news. And then they sort of like leg the KOSPI up. And then DRAM gets this like, look at the, I'm on the daily. DRAM gets this like, this V last night. Look at this. So SK Hynix misses, and SK Hynix is like 25% of DRAM, I think. It legs down like 7%. And then they just start ripping it, dude. They rip it up like 13%. It's insane. And I'm like, what is going on? And so they start legging up DRAM. They start legging up the KOSPI. And then all of a sudden, I like take a nap, or I don't take a nap. I go to bed, 9:30. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, what happened? And it's down like 6%, circuit breaker. It's just like full on, just like KOSPification of the world. Every day is like a 7% move. Like it, hate it, feel no way about it. Welcome to the new world. So I have one more tweet for you on stock market. I haven't read this, but it went pretty viral. I kind of want to read it. And then we're gonna move on to some. Oh, DNAP, send me that liquidation number thing from South Korea. So this guy's allegedly really smart. A lot of my smart friends interact with him. He doesn't follow me, so how good can he really be? Unclear. But I don't mind his tweets. But spending a lot of time thinking about and analyzing why the AI trades have been selling off. The easy answer is to say a lot of things and move on. But I think there is one major cause that I hadn't considered. In the first chart below, you can see that the NASDAQ topped on the day of Warsh's first FOMC meeting, which we streamed. I had noticed this previously, but I wasn't sure how Warsh's previous meeting would flow through so directly to the AI trade. In the second chart, you'll see the real rates measured by the 10-year. The 10-year inflation break-even number. Long-term inflation expectations haven't moved up much, but treasury rates have. This leads to a tightening of financial conditions, in this case, 50 bips higher real rates, because yields have been going crazy, right? In the war, fear, uncertainty, all of this. And Warsh is signaling more hawkish measures ahead. The committee has begun to indicate hikes, and perhaps more critically, Warsh is an ardent balance sheet hawk. What this means is that Warsh plans to shrink the balance sheet, probably by letting things like MBS and mortgage-backed securities, I know that one, and long-term duration treasuries roll off over time. Removing a buyer and a holder of longer duration assets from the market also has the effect of raising real rates and tightening financial conditions. This all comes at a time when the hyperscalers, Google in particular, are doing more capex than ever, and the entire AI complex is dependent on that capex for their own EPS target. It's kind of long, but let's just skim it and just have the takes in our head. To fund this capex, the hyperscalers are issuing more debt than ever by wide margins. CC Google as well. This debt needs to be absorbed amongst tighter financial conditions more broadly, and potentially at the same time as Warsh is plotting to remove one of the major holders of duration from the market. Of course, the hyperscaler fundraising is minuscule in comparison to treasury issuance, but the increased supply of treasuries raises their cost of capital. The AI build-out is also one of the longest duration trades in the market. So real rates rising has a big impact on the value of the future cash flows from data centers being built. This would probably all be fine if the hyperscalers were rolling in free cash flow like they once were, but they've already largely tapped that. Google's negative free cash flow for the first time in like a decade or whatever. Did Google just top the market? And thus the market is punishing them for this spending rather than rewarding it. Amazon and Google are flat on the year. Meta and Microsoft are down 10 and 20% respectively. All of this has the net effect of constricting the AI trade. All of this added pressure on the hyperscalers leads to lower capex expectations farther out, which flows through directly to EPS expects. Well, analysts haven't begun to move the semis EPS expects down yet. It's possible that the market is sniffing out this dynamic before the analysts. None of this is helped by the all AI specific news like efficiency breakthrough, Chinese hardware entrance, etc. If I'm right about this, then the worst part of it is that it's actually surprisingly difficult to trade on from here. Hyperscalers might begin to get rewarded if they cut capex, but that's difficult for them to do when they mostly seem to feel that AI is essential to their business, existential to the business. Also, what happens to the beneficiaries if they start cutting capex? Like what happens to Nebius, the hyperscalers, the memory names if they start cutting capex? Semis have verifiably high backlogs, but they remain vulnerable to this whole dynamic. With Warsh this week, maybe we'll get some color and clarity, but I doubt it. He's been very clear about wanting to remove forward guidance from his mandate. I'm not a great rates trader, but maybe this opportunity is somewhere in there. Have a good trade idea for this dynamic? Let me know. Top comment, Chumbo Wumbo. We are all going to die. George Robinson mode. So that's basically where we are at with FOMC today. And I guess the last thing to look at while DRAM just gets fucking smoked is... Yeah, look at this thing. Ugh, God. Soxel now 102. There's pre-market lows gone. Is oil and war. Low-key rotation from AI to Bitcoin. First chatter. Oh, I like you, brother. I like you. You're going to have some fun with me in this stream. Brent oil, they're just candling this thing, man. They really are. It looks pretty fucking strong. All right, in other news, PayPal had earnings, and PayPal beat earnings. And it led me to do a little look at the classic PayPal Mafia, which everybody knows about the PayPal Mafia, but I guess I didn't realize how insane the PayPal Mafia is. This is the lineup. Founding team of PayPal, like the OG PayPal squad. Number 1, Peter Thiel. PayPal founder and former CEO, sometimes called the Don of the PayPal Mafia. He's a founder of Palantir, a founder of the Founders Fund, one of the most successful VCs ever, and the first outside investor in Facebook. In 2025, Thiel and Palantir began collaborating with the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, for the second Trump administration. Number 2, Elon Musk. Number 3, David Sachs, former White House AI crypto czar and host of the All In podcast. Number 4 is, I never heard of this guy in my life, Max Levchin, founder and CEO at PayPal, or founder and CTO at PayPal, and the CEO of a firm. Isn't a firm like a Klarna clone? What's a firm? It is. God, what a fucking... You should get, like, karmically punished for working on this. I'm sorry. This is deserving of, like, karmic retributions. I built... I made $1 billion. How'd you make $1 billion? I built Klarna. It's like, bro, that is going to be paid for in another life. Maybe by your kids. Maybe not. But that will be paid for. It's a firm public. What do you mean? It unlocks money for people who need it? No, it gives people an opportunity to take egregious loans on Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets and pay interest. You want to pay interest on Chick-fil-A nuggets? It's karmically bad. Sorry. Yeah, pay for Chipotle in 30 installments. I don't believe that it unlocks money for people who need it. You know, if it was a platform to unlock money, like verifiably to pay for rent, or something like an essential, fine. It unlocks like 19-year-old girls the ability to go to Coachella, dude. It's not good. Here's a firm. Oh, God. Not bad, though. Kind of looks like the lighter chart. Pretty brutal PA. It is going to cause the next financial crisis. Okay, Max Levchin. Next, Scott Bannister. Early advisor and board member at PayPal. Is that all? He's done nothing else? Done nothing else? Scott Bannister. And he's done nothing else. How does the Klarna chart look? Oh my God. Wait, how does Scott Bannister make the list? if he's done nothing else. Let's see. No disrespect. How does Scott Bannister make the PayPal Mafia list if all he did was work at PayPal? Like what? No disrespect. That's a loose term. Oh, later founded Ironport, sold to Cisco for $1 billion, and became one of the most prolific angel investors in Silicon Valley history, backing Uber, Facebook, Zappos, and others. Got it. Okay. Next. Roelof Botha, former PayPal CFO who became a partner at the venture firm Sequoia Capital. Insane. Next. Steve Chen, former PayPal engineer who co-founded YouTube. Nuts. Next. Reid Hoffman, former PayPal CFO who's a partner at Founders Fund. Former executive vice president who founded LinkedIn, was an early investor in Facebook and Aviary. He sits on the board of Microsoft and spent too much time with Bill Gates. Next. Ken Howery, former PayPal CFO, became a partner at Founders Fund and served as the U.S. ambassador to Sweden during the first Trump administration and the U.S. ambassador to Denmark during the second Trump administration. Chad Hurley, former PayPal web designer who co-founded YouTube. Eric M. Jackson, who wrote the book The PayPal Wars, became the chief executive officer of WND Books. What is that? WND Books. WorldNet Daily is a far-right news and opinion website known for promoting fake news and conspiracy theories. Okay, that's what it's known for. Not great. And co-founding CapLinked. What's that? CapLinked. Data room software. Interesting. CapLinked valuation. Oh, okay. 6 mil. Dave McClure, former PayPal marketing director who co-founded 500 Global and became a super angel investor for startup companies. Okay. Andrew McCormick, founding partner of Valor Ventures. Luke Nozick, PayPal co-founder and former vice president of marketing strategy, became a partner at Founders Fund. How do you say this guy's name? Keith Rabois. Keith Rabois. I see this guy all the time. Former executive at PayPal who later worked at LinkedIn, Square, Colsa Ventures, and Founders Fund. This guy I feel as if I know. Jack Selby, former vice president of corporate international development at PayPal, co-founded Clarium Capital. They're all like in venture now. Raboy, okay. With Peter Thiel is the founder of AZVC, formerly Envision AZ Fund, which focuses on Arizona. Premal Shah, former product manager at PayPal, who became the founding president of Kiva.org. What is that? Kiva.org. Make a loan, change a life. The first online lending platform. That's kind of cool. Russell Simmons, former PayPal engineer who co-founded Yelp. That's insane. Jeremy Stoppelman, former vice president of technology at PayPal who co-founded Yelp. Okay, these guys made Yelp. Wow, this guy's from PayPal? This guy launched a coin. What? This guy launched a coin like three months ago. I hold his coin, Terra. Yishin Wong, former engineering manager at PayPal who later worked at Facebook, became the CEO of Reddit and founded Terraformation Inc. He launched a coin. And then last but not least is Yu Pan, one of the co-founders of PayPal, and played a role in designing the company's user interface and user experience. He later became involved in YouTube and co-founded Kiwi Crate. So from this, LinkedIn was created, David Sachs was created, Yelp was created, YouTube was created. and the CEO of Reddit, and then a couple other like. What's Kiwi Crate? Do you know what that is? What is it? Kiwi Crate? What is this? Ages 12 to 100? Seemed fine. It's like a toy subscription. Seems like kind of whatever. If I'm being honest with you, it seems kind of like a little crazy if you'd like fanboy over Kiwi Crate. Feels like kind of whatever to me. Didn't really get too excited about it. All right, where are we? I kind of want to watch some of this video, dude. What does Peter Thiel actually want? Has 500,000 views in a day, dude. Can we watch? Let's watch 5 minutes. Let's watch 7 minutes on 1.25. It's all over my YouTube. It's part of the PayPal Mafia. Let's watch 5 minutes. 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 What does Peter Thiel actually want? 500,000 views in a day. That's one of the most viral videos ever.
Is, to put it mildly, a bit of an unusual guy. Within the last year
he is a rather unusual fellow too, huh?
alone, he has started a new life for himself in Argentina, bankrolled the inaugural enhanced games that kind of flopped, started talking other billionaires into abandoning the Giving Pledge, published an essay about Watchmen and One Piece, doubled his...
What's the Giving Pledge? And when did he write an article about One Piece? The Giving Pledge, a charitable campaign founded in 2010 by Bill Gates. To encourage the world's wealthiest people to give more than half their money to charity. Jeez, I wonder why they wouldn't want to do that. What's your take on charity? Mid. I wish there was like, I gotta be careful with this one. I gotta be careful with this one. I wish there was like a way to verifiably, you know, verify. The Clippers are gonna clip you saying charity's fake and gay. I know. I'm gonna be careful with this one. I just like, I saw this tweet the other day and I was like, Melinda Gates is given how much money to charity? No, it was Jeff Bezos' wife. Jeff Bezos' ex-wife. Total charitable donations. $26.3 billion. $26 billion. She gave it all away. I just wish there was like a way to like, I know it's not really theoretically possible, but a way to like, you know, visualize the $26 billion, you know? So much of it is fake. What's the, Peter Thiel, look who she donated to? What do you mean, look who she donated to? Dude, she gives $5 billion a year to Time Frame. Like, what is this? Time Frame charity. No, okay. Peter Thiel One Piece article. Really? Oh my God, really? By Peter Thiel. Oh. Whoa. He wrote an article about fucking One Piece. Should I watch One Piece? Did you know this? Wow. Voyages to the End of the World by Peter Thiel. Check it out on stream while trading NQ. You're on a 170-day streak, brother. Congratulations. Are you long or short right now? Wow, Sox on 99. Going for it. Drill to the bottom of the earth. Let's see what's down there. Might be the first guy to watch One Piece because of Peter Thiel. That's insane. Why is he watching One Piece, bro? Voyages to the End of the World. Okay, let's keep going.
His net worth with the easiest softball interview question of all time.
You would prefer the human race to endure.
This was nuts. This was so nuts.
Doubled his net worth with the easiest softball interview question of all time.
You would prefer the human race to endure, right? I don't know. I would.
And to top everything off, finished a speaking tour in San Francisco and Rome about the Antichrist and how it is going to take the form of tech regulation, or Greta Thunberg, with as far as anybody.
That was nuts. You want to see humans live? It's like, well, we have to first define what does it mean to want, and what does it mean for humans to live?
Tell not a hint of irony. Again, this was all just within the last year. The time management alone would almost be impressive if it wasn't also strange. Now, obviously, thanks to a string of successful businesses and investments into companies like eBay, Palantir, Stripe, DeepMind, Facebook, SpaceX, Bitcoin, and his own venture capital firms, he has built an enormous private fortune alongside deep public connections, which, more than almost anybody else on Earth, has allowed him to indulge these unorthodox hobbies. There is also a good chance that...
Dude, I feel like I'm going to get...
None of this is really news to you anymore, and that's not by accident. Just over the last decade, Thiel has gone from doing everything in his power to keep a low profile out of the public eye to today where he is almost seemingly trying to manufacture outlandish headlines.
Facts!
And all of this all raises the obvious question of, why? Aside of just putting him in not a particularly flattering public spotlight, these strange antics may genuinely be impacting his underlying business interest. So, what is it exactly that Peter Thiel does? And more importantly, what is it exactly that he wants?
A leak of private information, purportedly related to an ultra-secret society called Dialogue, founded by PayPal billionaire Peter Thiel.
If you want to think about the economy of California, in some ways it's analogous to Saudi Arabia.
I will sort of get to it by and by, but
the first of the new experimental culture ideas.
Why did they put that in? That was fucked.
The first program to replace Western culture. It's framed as multicultural.
Diversity is more than just hiring, the extras from the space cantina scene in Star Wars or something like that.
So you can imagine the attention and concern when Thiel...
What is the Dialogue secret society? What is that? YouTube. If you're on Twitter, Twitch TV, just that guy. Private invitation. Wait, what are you talking? Jehovah Trades knows about the Dialogue Forum. Wait. It's a private invitation-only organization co-founded in 2006 by tech investor Peter Thiel and Orrin Hoffman. It functions as an off-the-record annual retreat. I just feel like I've seen a movie about this. Bringing together global leaders, tech executives, politicians, and academics. Dialogue Secret Society members leak. How did it get leaked? Oh, a hacking group leaked it. Whoa. A bunch of names I've never heard of. Scott Besson. Greg Brockman. A bunch of names I've never heard of. Ted Cruz. Tim Ferriss. Reid Hoffman. Huh, I've never heard of this.
Decided to hold a series of lectures on the Antichrist.
Alright, so, like always with these videos, it would be a lot easier and a lot more fun to just rattle off examples of bizarre things this guy has said, funded, or supported over his career, because honestly, there is a lot of material to cover there. But for now, I want to, as much as possible, leave the tinfoil hats to the side and just break down what it is his businesses actually do to get a clearer idea of what he actually wants. So from the beginning, Thiel had a complicated childhood moving from Germany to Ohio to South Africa to a historied city in modern-day Namibia before ultimately settling in California when he was 10. From there, by most accounts, he was a quiet, studious kid that had the grades to get into Stanford, where he founded the Stanford Review, a student publication with a conservative focus. After graduating from the prestigious school, he got a job as a law clerk, then a securities lawyer at Sullivan & Cromwell, then a derivatives trader at none other than Credit Suisse, with a side hustle of writing speeches for Reagan's former Secretary of Education. Outside of just being prestigious roles in their own right, it's worth pointing out that he juggled all these jobs over the course of just 3 years, the only regular jobs that he really ever had. Now, nobody should hold anybody's childhood or early career against them, and the only reason it's really worth discussing at all is to point out that, despite the turbulence, after his 3 years of holding down normal jobs came to an end, he was still ultimately surrounded by family and friends who had the means to invest $1 million with him, at the age of 29, in 1996. That money was the seed capital to establish Thiel Capital Management, a small venture capital firm with the idea of using his financial skills from his short stint on Wall Street, mixed with his Stanford connections to invest in promising startups before the larger VC firms got to them. By most records, this fund didn't really do anything that noteworthy. Its largest documented investment was a web-based calendar developed by one of Thiel's Stanford friends that effectively went nowhere. But the founder of that calendar project connected him with Max Levchin, who had another idea for a company that would use cryptography to secure fully online payments. So yeah, this part of the story you have probably already seen 100 YouTube video essays on, although it tends to get told from the perspective of one of the other founders. Thiel, Levchin, and Nosek started a company called FieldLink with an initial investment of $100,000 from Thiel, of which $35,000 reportedly came directly from Thiel's parents. FieldLink eventually rebranded to Confinity, which launched PayPal, which attracted further investment.
Wait, what does that mean, Blunt Squirrel? What did you just type in the chat? What does that mean?
During the dot-com hype, merged with another online payments company co-founded by Elon Musk, survived the crash, went public in 2002, and by 2003, got bought outright by eBay, giving all of the original co-founders a significant payday. Those co-founders now colloquially go by the name of the PayPal Mafia, because it was a surprisingly large group of people actually involved in starting this business thanks to the mergings, and because almost all of these guys double down into building more companies that, love them or hate them, are just as, if not more relevant than PayPal itself. Now, this whole business history is interesting and probably worthy of its own How Business Worked video. But the point is, from here, Thiel got a nice little payday that he almost immediately started on his next projects with. Unlike a lot of the other PayPal Mafia, Thiel didn't really have hard tech skills. And yes, I know the raw engineering skills of someone like Musk are hotly debated, but he did go to school for science, and he also, at the very least, saw himself as a techie engineer, so pursued techie engineering businesses with his exit liquidity.
Wait, is Elon not an engineer? What was that? Where did that come from?
Thiel knew what he was and what he wanted to be. A finance bro. And less than 6 months after wrapping up the eBay sale, he had positioned himself as the money man in 2 new ventures. The first was Clarium, a macro hedge fund loosely based on trading around the idea of peak oil. This actually did pretty well in the run-up to 2008, and a hedge fund loosely based on trading around the idea of peak oil. This
peak oil?
Actually did pretty well in the run-up to 2008, and at its peak had around $8 billion in assets under management, making him one of the largest hedge fund managers in the world at the time. It didn't fare so well following the global financial crisis though, and a combination of bad bets plus investors pulling their money out to shore up their own businesses meant that the fund shut down in 2011, although a standard management and performance fee structure still probably made Thiel a decent amount of money while it existed. Now, at almost exactly the same time he was setting up his hedge fund, he also co-founded Palantir Technologies.
Whoa.
The original thesis behind this business was that PayPal actually had really good fraud detection, and it did that by harvesting big data and processing it with well-engineered algorithms, so in the early 2000s, he thought the same kind of big data processing could be expanded to combat, well, basically everything. About 15 months after starting these 2 businesses, he also made a $500,000 angel investment into an up-and-coming social network called The Facebook, in addition to buying Zuckerberg a car and providing him personal mentorship. As if he didn't have enough on his plate, less than a year later, he launched Founders Fund alongside 2 fellow PayPal co-founders.
Why did you buy him a car?
And Sean Parker, better known as Justin Timberlake from that movie. This was a venture capital firm that invests in early-stage companies, waits for them to grow, and then cashes out at a higher price. So yeah, as far as the villain origin story goes, this was, all things considered, pretty boring. He had a wealthy family that funded a startup that got lucky, and then reinvested those early winnings into a venture capital firm to recompound his wealth. Throw a rock at a San Francisco TED Talk, and you will hit 20 people with effectively the same backstory. Also, for what it's worth, hot take alert here, but a lot of his early investments were based on some pretty decent ideas. Founders Fund in particular was launched with a manifesto, which is not a great sign, but it did make a good point, which is that tech investment had become too focused on things that could be flipped for a quick profit, rather than building genuinely innovative new technologies. Thiel concluded the reason for this was because world-changing new technologies were hard, while making some new app or platform was easy. They capped it off by saying that we were promised flying cars. Instead, we got 140 characters. They also went on to
That's such a bar.
point out that not everything with a plug is technology. I mean, take the logo off it and maybe don't call it a manifesto, and honestly, it wouldn't be that different from half the stuff we talk about on this channel every other week, which does make me feel some kind of way. But it's time to learn how money works to find out how an idealistic tech.
All right, I'm bored. Good video. There's no way I'm making it to the end. That was fun though. Shout to Peter too. What do they say about Elon though? Elon is not an engineer. Subject of ongoing debate. He has like a physics degree. That's interesting. All right, let me do this real quick. Let me get up really quick. I'll be back in like 30 seconds, chat. When I am back, we are not done because there's a lot to talk about still. There's still a lot to talk about. BRB! Where are we? Where are we? Also, if you're on YouTube or Twitter and you would like to chat, Twitch TV /threadguy. Whatever happens in the first hour of market open that has to do with Bitcoin, we should just stop looking at it. I think we should take it off of our chart. If there is any price action, what's the title of the video? Peter Thiel? Alex sent it, but it got deleted here. Anything that has to do with Bitcoin in the first hour is just ignore mode, I think, is what we're gonna start doing. And oh, this is not good. DRM 46.41, Soxel down another 10% every day. They just drill it into the fucking ground. Look at this. Soxel is now down off top to bottom. This is the triple leverage semiconductor ETF. It's down 67%. What is in the Soxel? Looks like a bunch of shit. Micron, AMD, Nvidia, Intel, Broadcom. It's just like all the semis names. Ugh. That thing is getting crushed. It's down 67%. They're trying to convince us to make the IGV be a good buy, but I can't really be convinced on that. Mags are down 1%. DRAM's 46. I am not stepping in and buying anything. I still hold my same couple coins. They don't look very good at all. All right, we got a couple topics. Number one is Apple has come out with this new launch, and they are calling it Apple Upgrade. Okay. Apple Upgrade has officially launched in the US. Customers can now lease a range of Apple products on 12 24 or 36 month terms with monthly payments ranging from $11.99 to $327.21, depending on the device and configuration. Everything's a subscription now. And so they are offering a subscription to lease an iPhone for $17.99, $11.99 for an Apple Watch, $24.99 for a Mac, and $11.99 for an iPad. Okay. And my question is, in what world do these economics make sense? It almost feels like it's too cheap to work. You're telling me for $18 a month I can have an, I mean, bro, how much is an iPhone? It's like $1,000 for an iPhone. I mean, how much is an iPhone? How much is new iPhone? I mean, they're like $1,200, bro. $1,000, $800. In what world? Okay, if iPhone's $1,000, 1,000 divided by that 55 months. It would take 55 months to pay off the iPhone off subscriptions. If it's $1,000 for $18 a month. What? Oh, that's 0%. You're right. That is a crazy number. Leasing an iPhone is diabolical, by the way. But it's a good deal. Like, can you blame them? I don't feel as if I can. It's a good deal. You know, this is where it starts. Okay? This is where it starts on you will own nothing and you will be happy. This is where it starts. Okay? First, you don't even own your Chick-fil-A nuggets with Klarna. Then you don't own your video games with PlayStation anymore. They have a digital subscription. Then you don't own your car. You lease it. You don't own your house. You got to pay it off. You have a 50-year mortgage on your house. You got to, you know, Trump just, that's a thing, right? Like 50-year mortgage on your house proposed by Trump. You don't own your house. And then you don't own your phone. You don't own your iPad. You don't own your watch. You don't own your data in ChatGPT or Anthropic. You can't run a local model because it's banned. It's illegal. You're getting persecuted. You don't own your phone. You don't own you own nothing. You actually own nothing. You don't even own your collectibles anymore because they're fucking NFTs, and like OpenSea shuts down and you forgot your seed phrase, and then you don't own that. You don't own anything. It's insane. It's actually nuts. And so I don't know. Apple comes out with this announcement. I've never seen this before. I didn't even know you could this was like a viable business model. Like, how, in what world is that profitable for Apple? I'm not really sure that I get it. But this is why I'm not the CEO of Apple, I suppose. And I would imagine they have really good deals on all of this stuff. But I actually want to watch a minute of the new Apple upgrade program. Is that what this is? Yeah, it is. Let's watch like a minute of this. I just want to like know how it works.
Well, you may remember that a few weeks ago, Apple shut down their Apple Store to increase their prices on a lot of their hardware. And now today, Apple's completely changing how we pay for those Apple products. For the first time ever, Apple's introducing a brand new leasing program for their iPhones or iPads.
Bro, I don't want to rent my phone. I don't want to rent my phone. I want to own it. I don't want to rent my phone. I do not want to rent my phone. I don't.
Their Macs and their Apple Watch lineup, and they start as low as just $12 a month. But just like any leasing program, like leasing a car, that means you never actually own that Apple product. And this new program is called the Apple Upgrade Program, so let's break down exactly what it means, what it looks like.
Dude, imagine you just send some like risky text and your phone gets recalled because you forgot to pay, and it's just like,
what happens to the old iPhone upgrade program, and whether or not you can still finance things traditionally like we have in the past. Let's break it all down and what it could mean for you moving forward. So firstly, what exactly is Apple Upgrade? So this is Apple's brand new leasing program, and it's offered directly through Apple. This is going to be eligible on their online website, their app, as well as in-store, and it's going to be backed and partnered with by Klarna, which again, I'll leave my opinions towards the end of the video if you guys want to see that.
Nah. No fucking way. It's backed by Klarna? Dude, spiritual death to everybody involved with this Klarna shit. I'm sorry. So, everyone that is within a striking distance of Klarna is going to pay for this karmically in another life. I cannot emphasize this enough. You pay your karmic retributions always, good or bad. And if you don't pay for it, then your kids will pay for it, or your kids' kids, or your kids' kids, or your in-laws. Somebody is going to pay for it. Man. And man. Let me see some context with Klarna. Yeah, they charge you 30% APR to take a loan against chicken nuggets and eat them. And DRAM's $45, and the stocks was down 13%. And oh my God, it's all just a fucking.
That, but that's app as well as in store.
Klarna will pay.
It's going to be backed and partnered with by Klarna, which again, I'll leave my opinions towards the end of the video if you guys want to see that, but that's going to be what the partnership is going to be all about. This is going to be for eligible Apple products. There will be some ineligible ones, but we'll talk about that in a little bit later, and also it will require a soft credit check. And again, since this is a leasing program, you don't actually...
Dude, yeah, interest is one of the craziest things ever invented. It's like, oh, you're poor? This thing... It's now more expensive. Congrats. Brokey. That's what you get for being poor. It's more expensive. It's like, wait, what? What? I just told you I'm poor. What do you mean it's more expensive? It's actually one of the wildest things. You still holding Shaw's at 41. I'm gonna just pretend like I don't hold it. I'm just gonna start saying no. When people ask me if I hold Shaw's, I'm just gonna like start saying them no. I'm just gonna start saying no. It's good for some things. The engagement ring or big stuff. By the way, I agree. Like if you had a buy now pay later for essentials, I like it. But what fun is that? If they want to buy the chicken nuggets, let them buy the fucking chicken nuggets. But in like theoretically, I got totally cooked on the Klarna IPO. Dude, lefty. Karmic retributions, brother. There's no good deed that will go unpunished that has to do with Klarna. You will make money on Klarna, and then DRAM will drill to $20 and the stock market will implode. There's no... My mom and sister are so hooked. What do they use Klarna for? Close. Yeah, events. Events is brutal. Because that is like... Man, it's really dark. All right, I'll tell you a story. Apple uses Klarna for the new thing. That's why we're here.
Own the product.
You just missed it. You know, like, I saw this video today. Mind you, what I'm about to say is very good for my world. Bad for everybody else's world. I'm broke as fuck, and I'm not used Klarna once. Congrats. It's like, yeah, I use Klarna to sign up for my fantasy football league. It's like, fuck. But what they're gonna... What's next? What's next with Klarna? Well, what's next is they're gonna let you do installments on... Why do I say it like that? Installments? They're gonna let you do buy now, pay later on trading. Gambling platforms. It's kind of like prop firms, right? A little bit. Maybe not quite. That's next. Buy now, pay later, gotcha spins. That's obviously next. I used Klarna for a laptop a couple years ago, but that's like a valid... That's like a valid use of it. Because it's like technology that you need. If you told me you used it for fucking FIFA points... I don't know. I don't know if I would hate, but dude, that's what's next. You remember that platform that it's a credit card, and instead of just paying off your credit card, you spin the roulette to like get it for free. It's really dark. That is dark, my friend. That's what's next. Okay, the next iteration. It's like first. I remember there was first, like, call JG Wentworth 877 cash now, 877 cash now, 877 cash now, and you could like get rent paid for or whatever. They would give you like an advance on your. You remember JG Wentworth? Remember this commercial? 877 cash now. They would give you this like advance on your rent or on your paycheck to like pay rent. That was first. And then the margins on that suck because like who even wants to pay rent? Fuck that. We want Coachella tickets. And so then it's like Klarna exists. Karmic just hell gets created. What is this? Call 877 cash now. 877 cash now. Yeah, JG Wentworth. Fuck, man. This ad shit really works. Look at this shit. You remember this? You remember this shit?
I have structured settlement and I need cash.
Like, this is valid. Valid. Structured settlement, you need cash.
No.
Call JG Wentworth, 877 cash now.
I have an annuity, but I need cash now.
Call JG Wentworth, 877 cash now. 877 cash now. PayPal thousands, they'll help you too. One lump sum of cash, they will pay to you.
Or what about the general? For one low rate, you can get online, go to the general and save some time. I think that's more like attorney services. The general.
If you get long-term payments, but you need cash now. Call JG Wentworth, 877 cash now.
877 cash
General is insurance, yeah.
now.
877 cash now. 877 cash now.
It's your money. Use it when you need it.
Call JG Wentworth.
But like when JG Wentworth made this commercial 14 years ago, do you think they thought Apple would be leasing you an iPhone for $17? No. Okay? They didn't. They did not think that was what was going to happen. They didn't. And I would imagine if they did know this was coming, the JG Wentworth would have said, I want nothing to do with that. And so step 3, oh yeah, 2.7 high school GPA, we can say every money ad jingle created between 2001 and 2015. Like, step 3 in the Klarna progression hell loop of doom is that there's going to be buy now, pay later gotcha slots. It's going to be $1 spin. You can spin it for 25 cents. You can pay the rest in yearly installments. And you're just going to spin until you hit the jackpot. You're going to blow that up. You can spin until you hit the jackpot. And then there will be, I don't even know how this works. I don't understand how these companies make money. It's like Klarna's like, okay, what if Klarna like watches The Big Short and they're like, okay, what if, hear me out, I have a business idea. We fund really high interest loans on really cheap, stupid items to people that are definitely not going to pay. And you're like, wait, like Chick-fil-A nuggets? And you're like, exactly like Chick-fil-A nuggets. Exactly. And boom, you're billionaires. And then you like are at the party. You're at like the cool person party. And you're at like the ZERP party, the zero interest rates party. And you're like, you're like rizzing this girl, and she's like, how'd you get famous? Or how'd you get rich? And you're like, oh, like, I invented Klarna. And she's like, oh, what about you? And you're like, oh, like, I'm the CEO of Snapchat. And she's like, oh, like Snapchat, that's on like 97%. And he's like, yeah. And then what about you? Oh, I made StubHub. And you're like, StubHub, the thing that like, it's my favorite bit. It's like, how'd you get rich? Some crypto scam. What about you? Some crypto scam. It's like, I made Klarna. It's just like such a joke, bro. It's such a joke. Anyways, let's.
Until the very end if you do have the option to buy it outright, but during the time that you lease it, you will not be owning the product. Klarna will be owning the product. So Apple will be offering different lease terms on a per product basis. So for example, for iPhones and Apple Watches, there'll be 12-month and 24.
How'd you get rich? Some crypto scam. What about you? Same thing. It's just like, God.
month leases, and then for Macs and iPads, it'll be 24-month and 36-month leases. So of course, to market this and to entice people, Apple's really showing off those low monthly payments, which do start as low as $11.99 for certain products. For example, the Apple Watch Series 11 and iPad Mini do start as low as $11.99 in the 24-month or 36-month periods, and then iPhones start at $17.99 and Mac leases start at $24.99. And again, these prices do feel significantly lower and they're much easier to digest because you're not paying the full amount.
Imagine you got a Klarna payment on your Tesla and you miss it, and that thing full self drives itself back to the Tesla office.
And it's even much less than actually financing the product in totality. But again, you're not owning the product. And if you do want to end up owning the product, you have to pay the entire difference at the end, which we're going to get to in a second. So now to kind of walk through a couple of examples. Let's say you do go through a leasing program.
They probably have some like data skim on this thing and fucking they're selling it to QCOM and Sam Altman.
Exactly happens at the end of that lease?
Fucking QCOM, man. It got their goddamn paws and everything.
So you can enter the Apple upgrade program, lease the actual device, and then you have 3 options at the end of it. Option 1 is you can return the current device in good condition and begin a brand new lease on another eligible product, which is exactly what Apple would want you to do, so you continue to pay them on a monthly basis. Number 2, you can just return it after the lease ends and then kind of get away from the program entirely.
You know what that biggest scam of all time was? Upgrading your phone. AT&T would be like, you're eligible for an upgrade. And I'm like, oh my God, wow. Like, thanks, AT&T. That's awesome. I can just upgrade my phone. And then you go to the AT&T store and they're like, okay, cool. Like, you get an iPhone for free, but we're going to double your phone payments for 3 years until you have paid off the phone. And it's like, wait, what? I thought I have a free upgrade. They're like, you do, but your cell service has gotten significantly more expensive. And you're like, I remember my parents explained this to me for the first time because one of my boys, got a new phone. And I'm like, dude, how'd you get a new phone? And he's like, what do you mean? I'm due for an upgrade. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I've had it for 4 years. AT&T, like, free upgrade. And so I go home and I'm like, Dad, like, TokenWorks updated the price? No way. To 0.5? Dude, I've been spinning for like 0.2. I mean 0.05. I've been spinning for 0.2. How's that fair? Is that good? Oh my God, there's about to be buys on this thing galore. This is why hazing never ends, by the way. It's like, what do you mean 0.05? I spent 0.2. Maybe that's a dark rabbit hole. Okay, let's finish this for just a second.
And then option number 3 is going to be pay the remaining purchase amount through.
Oh, but I'm like, yeah, Dad, I can get a new an upgrade. And he's like, no, you can't. And I'm like, what do you mean? So my friend, John got one. Minimum backing at 0.05. God bless, dude. Nice upgrade, Adam. I like it. I like it. I like it. Lefty, what initial thoughts? Sorry, I'm talking about Klarna and shit. If you keep your minimum backing price being too low, we've manually updated the minimum backing. Got it. Fun strat. What's Bitmine's Twitter? BMNR. Yes. Come rock with the boy. 21 and the boy. Yeah, anyways, he told me I can't get a new phone. And then I started doing Klarna segments on stream, and I can now afford one. Is basically what look at Sharko's stream. Who's that? Did I hit these specific flow zones? Was non-negotiable, should everything done listed yet? But I hit flow state, but I'm talking about like financing chicken nuggets is what's happening.
Klarna and keep the product. That is one good thing about the program, and the kind of silver lining is that even though you are leasing it and you are paying a smaller monthly.
I got friends who buy every new iPhone release. I'm gonna be honest, I'm one of those guys, but I don't use it for like, I don't incorporate it for like a year. So I'm kind of on every two maybe. I actually am I'm a user on my iPhone until it completely breaks. And the main reason I use my iPhone until it breaks is that it's so difficult to set up the new iPhone. It's like so painfully difficult to set up the new iPhone. It's just like, at what point is it worth it? It's like, okay, 10% slower battery and an occasional glitch, but I don't have to wait 4 hours to transfer my phone number. Give me the 10% worse, 100%. I have this like special lockdown on my phone. Okay. I have this like very special lockdown on my phone where like you cannot touch my phone number. Somebody has to go into the Apple store, someone has to go into the Apple store with passports and shit. My phone's glitching. LOL. Yeah, my phone. Somebody has to. No. You could just transfer it. I can't. I have like a giga lock. There's like 4 layers. I have like it's kind of like a seed phrase where I have multiple people on different sides of the country that all have to go to the Apple store at the same time and provide government ID. So like a cousin, a parent, they all have to go at the same time. And so to coordinate this cross country, it's like really difficult. It's not easy to do. They tried to SIM swap me one time, and I'm like, I watched what happened to Brian Chesky, and they hacked Brian Chesky, and then they make a tweet about fucking tokenizing RWAs, and I said, no way. No way.